Hello, and thank you for joining me on the first episode of The Art and the Artist. I am your host, LA Phil. Now, the focus of this show is to spotlight some of the incredible artists that I've come across online, get to know a little bit more about them, and most importantly, let them tell us, the fans, all of the different ways that we can support them. Imagine a time before the internet. The art that you were able to see was solely based on where you lived. You had your museums, local art galleries, maybe where you lived there was an art festival. That was it. The beauty of the internet is you can find an artist anywhere in the world, follow them, support them, buy their artwork, all in the palm of your hands. It really is a wonderful thing. My go-to place to find art is Twitter, for a couple of reasons, but the main reason being is the artist community on Twitter is absolutely wonderful. They're really, supportive and uplifting of each other. It really is a beautiful thing. My love for art came at a very young age. My dad is an artist, just a really creative guy in general. From a very young age, many Saturdays were spent at the museum. When I was about 16, we had to move into my dad's art workspace. So we moved to the historic arts district, downtown Los Angeles, and still, to this day, my favorite place I've ever lived. I mean, you could really feel the energy, in this community. It really was, at that time, to me anyways, at that age, a really cool place. For those of you who might remember the Arts District, I lived on Traction Avenue, right down the street from Bloom's General Store and Soul Folks Cafe, both places which no longer exist, which is, kind of heartbreaking. Now, a little bit about the Arts District. In the early to mid 70s, you had an influx of artists coming in to live. Now, downtown at that time, there were a bunch of abandoned warehouses, factories, wide open spaces, perfect for an artist studio. Now, the only drawback is because these buildings are still industrially zoned, no one is allowed to live there. No, I'm not saying that they didn't live there, but legally, they weren't supposed to live there. So in 1981, the Artists in Residence Act passed, so now the artists can live and work in the same space. Perfect situation. Fast forward a little bit, I'm about 19, 20. I'm working at this restaurant downtown, and this woman comes in to apply for a job. Nothing wrong with it. Just by the looks of her, it didn't seem like her line of work. I find out she's a photographer, and for the first time in a very long time, she couldn't afford to live just solely on her artwork. At this time, the price to live downtown was through the roof. It went absolutely nuts. So essentially what happened is the artist got priced out of the Arts District, which blows my mind. Now, don't get me wrong, there are still artists downtown. The Brewery Art Colony still exists. Now, if you don't know what that is, the Brewery Art Colony, it was a former Pabst Blue Ribbon brewery. And in 1981, after the Artists in Residence Act passed, they started renting, legit artist lofts to artists. And still to this day, they only rent to artists, which is very cool. You should check it out. They have the Art Walk down there. It's a cool place. The dismantling of the Arts District and my general love for art are a couple of the reasons why I decided to do this. So thank you for joining me. I am LA Phil. This is The Art and the Artist. See you soon.